Hey, here's the secret to how hospital workers judge whether or not somebody really wants to unalive themselves or not. Because trust me, they are judging and seeing if they are serious about doing this or not. It could determine whether they get sent to the psych ward or whether or not they get sent home. Now, let me give y'all some tea. During the winter months, we see a huge spike in people wanting to visit the psych ward. You get winter blues, but also it's cold. People need to get off the streets if they're homeless or lack resources. And in psych wards, you can get 3 hots in a cot without having to do a misdemeanor crime, ending up in jail to get it that way, but you also get something on your record. Psych wards are a good option to take because you don't have to put nothing on your record or do nothing illegal. You just need mental help, and then while you get into that facility, you find ways to milk your time there the best way you can. Some patients are able to get up to a month. Homeless folks that's smart and know how to be tactful just because they know how to say the right things. But we get a bunch of people that try it, like, I don't want to be here anymore. And if somebody says they're suicidal, it does give you a certain amount of rights and entitlement to certain treatments or availability to certain resources, especially because legally people aren't supposed to measure your level of suicidality and like judge whether or not it needs help or the type of help that it needs. That's kind of up to you. But the way that you weed out the people that are serious and the people that aren't so serious is the following. Number 1, do they have a plan? Have they already thought out how they're going to take themselves out? Number 2, what is that plan? Does it involve a lethal weapon? Is it a realistic way in which somebody would unalive themselves? And it doesn't have to be compared to somebody else in order for it to be legit, but the more offlandish and distant it seems, the more unrealistic it might be to that actual person. Number 3, if there's any evidence of self-harm on that individual, did they go for any areas that are lethal, like certain areas on the wrist or certain areas that I might not mention to give some of you people that might not be in the right space ideas? But we call those types of cuts superficial if they don't go at anything that is life-threatening, but they want to show the fact that, hey, I'm upset, I'm expressing myself, this is something that somebody could see. And it is a cry for help. I don't want to say attention seeking from the standpoint of that's all they want. Yes, of course, if your life is in danger and you might not want to live it anymore, you should be seeking attention so that people can remind you that you are loved, that you are needed, that you are special. We're going to talk about that some more in a minute because I just did a live stream about a week ago where somebody that was considering unaliving themselves changed their mind through being on the live stream here on TikTok. But another way we could tell if somebody is not so serious about wanting to unalive themselves, are they speaking about things that they hope to happen? Is hope still within grasp for them? Are they speaking about things that they want to change, that they wish were different in a way that they might not be able to control, but maybe they're looking for help to help somebody to change their perspective or to give them resources or connections to being able to be that agent of change or experience the change that they're looking for according to the hope that they have. Because if you have a hopeless, helpless individual, you are showing me an individual that don't want to be here no more for real. I've experienced people tell me that they don't want to be here for real, and then they don't end up being here for real. They don't do a whole lot of talking. They don't do a whole lot of attention seeking because that's the last thing they want is somebody to stop them from doing what it is they set out to do. And then lastly, you look at that person's history. Have they had these types of ideations in the past? How many times have they been in the hospital and what for? If there's any history known about the patient, that will help paint a picture as to what we're dealing with. How serious is this proclamation of theirs? So yeah, they're gonna use that. Now, as for my live stream and how that went, it was interesting. There was an individual that came on a live stream and they said they had tried calling the hotline number, but that didn't really seem to be working out in their favor. So what they decided to do was to come on the live and say, hey, I'm feeling this way. And they said, I think I'm gonna do it too. Nobody cares, So immediately as I'm seeing that, they're presenting their problem, they're presenting their frustrations, which means they would love somebody to discuss this with them, to talk with them, to give them some hope. And because we got like the most banging mental health community on TikTok, the people in the live was pouring into that individual, reaching out to them via DMs, was just pouring out and giving them all types of validation. Saying things to them that maybe they couldn't even get some of their closest loved ones to utter to them during that time. And that is special. And that's what this community is made of right here. So y'all need to follow up. You might mess around and run into some people that you can relate to that you never thought you could before. You might end up being a resource to somebody, and that feels good to give back to the community, whatever community, in a way that is meaningful. I want to be able to cover more aggressive topics as well, like MK Ultra, the history of psych wards. Some of these things I've tried on TikTok, but my videos get flagged sometimes, and it's just like, dang. So follow me on that blue app. As soon as we hit 5,000 followers on that app, then we are going to start going crazy on those videos. We really need to get that information out there. I think it's going to help people see how this is an intentional system set up, not necessarily in your favor. And there's more proof of it being in your disfavor than your actual favor. But we still play the game. But all links are in the description for that. Appreciate y'all as always, and like for more stories.